She said I was just temporary, until I heard it for myself. My name is Marcus. I'm 33 years old, and I run a custom motorcycle restoration shop just outside Kansas City. We specialize in vintage Harleys and rare European classics, bikes from the 50s, 60s, and 70s that collectors dream about. I won't pretend it's a goldmine, but it's steady work, honest work, and something I've loved doing since I was a teenager. About a year and a half ago, I met Allison. She was 29, working in marketing, and we crossed paths at a local cafe when she complimented the bike I parked out front, a 1964 Triumph Bonneville I had just finished restoring for a client. We got to talking and soon we were dating. First, things were great. She asked about my work, came by the shop to see the bikes I was working on, and even sat in on a few engine tests. I thought she appreciated what I did. But early on I could tell her family, especially her mother, had a different view. Her mom, Diane, was always polite but reserved. She worked as a CPA and seemed obsessed with titles and career prestige. Her dad, Richard, was friendlier, a bit stiff, but he and I bonded over business talk and Kansas City barbecue. After 6 months, Sunday dinners at their place became a tradition. Fancy meals, long conversations about markets and politics. I never fully felt like I belonged, but I played along because Allison seemed happy, and I was trying to make it work. But then last month everything changed. It was a normal Sunday. We arrived at her parents' place around 2. Diane made a big roast. After dinner, Allison got a FaceTime call from her old college roommate, Sabrina, who had moved to Seattle. "Come say hi." I heard her call to Diane. The two of them settled into the living room while I helped Richard clear plates in the kitchen. I walked down the hall to grab my jacket from the coat closet, passing just close enough to hear something I wasn't meant to hear. Sabrina must have asked about me because Allison laughed and said, "Oh, Marcus? Don't worry, I'm just having fun. I'd never actually marry a mechanic." Then Diane chimed in, "Thank God. I was starting to get worried you were serious. Can you imagine bringing a grease-stained boyfriend to one of our firm's events?" I froze in the hallway. I could see Allison's back from the doorway, phone on the coffee table, both of them laughing like it was a joke. But it wasn't a joke to me. Didn't hit me like rage. Hit like clarity. Like something that had been bothering me finally made perfect sense. I walked back into the kitchen and told Richard the first had a last-minute call from a client. I slipped out through the back door without another word. That night I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just sat on my porch with a beer, listening to the quiet and feeling the truth settle in. Allison hadn't been building a life with me. She'd been playing house. The next morning she texted me, casual as ever. "Hey babe, you left kind of quick yesterday. Everything okay?" I replied, "Yeah, just got called into the shop. Got a Sportster rebuild to focus on." She didn't press. Maybe she was relieved. Maybe she figured I was still in the dark. Over the next few days I started pulling out. Quietly. No big drama. I removed the tools I kept at her apartment. I updated my emergency contacts. She'd been listed after I had surgery last year. I began cutting the threads that tied us together. Then on Friday morning I got a call from Diane. "Marcus, honey, Jessica mentioned you had a little disagreement. Everything okay?" "No disagreement," I told her. "Just rethinking some things. Are you still coming to dinner Sunday?" "No. I don't think I'll be joining anymore." "Is something wrong?" "I think you already know." She went quiet. Later that day, Allison showed up at my shop. She looked polished and impatient, standing there while I worked on a carburetor. "We need to talk," she said. "I heard what you said," I told her without even turning around. "On Sunday. To your mom." She froze. "It wasn't like that." "Then explain." "I was just trying to manage expectations. My mom's been pressuring me about settling down, and I panicked. I didn't mean it." "You didn't mean it." I looked up. "Because it sounded pretty damn specific." She stammered. "Let her." "I love you, Marcus." "No. You love what I do for you. You love the rides, the free repairs, the attention. You don't respect me. You see me as a stepping stone." That's not fair. It's honest. Which is more than I can say for you. She left in tears. I went back to the engine. Saturday brought a flood of texts. On Sunday, Diane called again. Marcus, what happened? You heard her on that call, Diane. She said I was just temporary. A mechanic she'd never marry. She said you misunderstood. No, she said exactly what she meant. And you agreed with her. There was a long silence on the other end. I didn't think you heard. I'm sorry. Now you know why I'm not coming to dinner anymore. By the end of the week, Allison had tried everything. Apologies, explanations, showing up uninvited. Even bringing Diane with her once to try and talk things out. Diane actually admitted she'd been wrong, that she'd judged me without understanding what I do. She'd done some research and realized restoring vintage motorcycles isn't just a greasy hobby. It's skilled, detailed, and often lucrative. Even Richard called to say he respected how I'd handled things. Said I was always welcome in their home, no matter what happened with Allison. But Allison still didn't get it. She showed up at my shop with a ring. I want to marry you, she said. I stared at the box. You bought yourself an engagement ring? To show you I'm serious. I want a future with you. No, you want to undo what you said out loud. But you can't. I walked away. She left crying. A month later, things feel lighter. Tom and Diane invited me back for dinner. Without Allison. I went. We talked about business, books, and motorcycles. They'd started to see me as a person, not a project. Funny enough, they've referred 2 clients to me since. One of them had a 1969 Triumph that's going to be a beautiful rebuild. And I've started seeing someone new, Eliza. She's a trauma nurse and rides a restored 1981 Honda CX500. When I told her about my shop, she lit up and asked to visit. She didn't care about what I wear or what events I'd be invited to. She cared that I loved my craft. That's all I ever wanted. Allison thought she was having a private laugh at the mechanic she didn't take seriously. But the truth came out, and the fallout wasn't revenge. It was just walking away, and letting her words do the rest.